What's going on, guys? It's Ryan from RPS Dent Specialists coming to you with the Dent Digest. Got a special guest here, Don Cavanaugh from Dentcraft. Going on?
How you doing, guys? Just checking in here from Daniel Grom's room, live.
Yeah, we snuck in Dan's room.
Texas, Arcana.
You know.
Got
So
Danny in here.
we are here at Anson. We're actually gonna make this a short little show. What I wanted to do was bring Don on, give him a story, give him an idea of how he started, when he started, who trained him, and the new coming with Don. So, the new ideas that are coming out, some new tools are coming out. So how'd you get started?
First of all, we got to point out that we're the Bobsey twins here. We got the Anson shirts. We're rocking them. It's all about Anson this weekend. I'm honored to be on here, but thanks for having me.
It was a good groundbreaking ceremony today.
Yeah, it was. It was really cool, guys. You're going to have to go and look at my live video under my personal name, not under Dentcraft, but Don Cavanaugh. To answer your question, Ryan, I got started back in '89. I saw really picked up my first tool. I actually learned from an old German fellow that learned in the BMW factory in Munich in the 60s and 70s. And his name was Jürgen. And he brought it to America about the same time Lido did. It was kind of about the exact same time, which is really interesting. I remember flying around the country with him back in those days, and we'd hear that Lido had just been at that place and turned something down, and then Jürgen wanted to do it. Oh, yeah. And it was really kind of cool, and another story another time, because you can go into that for hours. And then he would want to do it, and then that was kind of cool. And then we would fly somewhere else, like Palm Springs or something, and Jürgen had turned something down, and they said, "Hey, Lido did this. Look at this," So these guys were complete rivals of one another, which was really cool. But it pushed both of them, and it's kind of like what we're doing, right, guys? We got guys all around the country, and we are all pushing ourselves to get to that next level. And I'm just so honored to be in this group with all you guys and learning and pushing ourselves. And here we are at Anson, seeing a bunch of new tools and new techniques and things like this. And it's just absolutely. I'm so blessed. I've said this before, but to find this group of guys and the camaraderie that we're really receiving in the last few years has really changed, I think.
Oh yeah.
It seems like we really button heads there for a while. You go to MTE and have to fight our way through different things, and it just made it hard, And now I feel like we're actually here and trying to help each other, get to the next level. So
I actually took the IMI training today.
Yeah, how'd you think about that?
It was some really good information, stuff you didn't think about, stuff you just didn't have any idea. How even as little things is the key. Where you have to put the key, it has to be away from the car, and just the safety stuff.
It's eye-opening.
It was It was a long day, but it was a good. So we started at the groundbreaking ceremony for Anson. Then I went to the IMI. These guys got to hang out and have fun. Daniel just got here not long ago, so it's been an eventful day.
Really cool stuff. I mean, Danny and I actually took it together with Vince a year ago at the same open house deal. It was actually tied in with MME last year, and it was. I think we were pretty amazed too at what we had learned and how nonchalant we all are out there. We all got to kind of tighten our bootstraps, guys. It's more important than you think. I've been so complacent with it for so many years, and we've got a Chevy dealership right up the street from us, and I can't tell you how many volts I did without being prepared. And so that's a whole different thing. But we're here just to basically say hi, and we kind of talked a few weeks ago about coming on and talking about a few things and any certain questions that you'd like me to answer for you, man.
When did you open up your retail location?
I opened up a retail location immediately. I thought I needed a shop right away, day one. I think I could have done that a lot differently, but I did do it right away. And but I was more like 20% retail, and then I was like 80%, the wholesale market. But it was always great to have a shop to be able to bring the bigger dents back to, so I could actually sit on those a little bit longer and actually figure out how to even repair them. Honestly,
you're comfortable. I think that's half the battle with fixing some of these dents. Is if you're uncomfortable, it's not going to be as good as a repair.
No,
as if you're comfortable. So
and you're not going to want to take that on.
no,
At least back in the day, a big smash back then might take me 2-3 days to do, and it still takes me a day a lot of times. But
it's because you're old.
I am an old man.
How long you been in?
Man. I've been in it 30 years. Started in
30
and here it
years.
is 19. So
He was using the bent screwdrivers.
I am. I never did that. No, we never did. But I never even saw. We talk about this all the time, but I never even saw a knockdown for about 12 years. It was all hammers for me. So didn't even know there was an easier way to do it. So I don't use that knockdown very much. But once in a while, if it's by a door handle or something like that, I'll do that.
Mhm.
But it was just a whole different way of learning, and I had nothing to compare it to. So it was. It's funny. I love listening to guys and their journey and how they got to where they are,
Yeah.
and I really enjoy things like this. The open house and talking with guys and looking at tools and just really bringing it in, because I think that we all feel this way. But if you think you know everything, it's the last day you learn a damn thing.
And I
it's
think
not how I roll.
this event is different. It's very family oriented.
Yep.
Very welcoming group of people here.
Absolutely.
So
it is a family. They mentioned that this morning, and I really believe it's true. They say we're the Anson family. So very cool.
So you've got a big event coming up.
We do.
Next weekend. He's got the Stanliner event at his location.
Minneapolis, and we're looking forward to that. And Kaz is coming all the way from Lithuania for that, and that's going to be pretty epic. I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to be it's my first event I've really thrown at my shop, so that's going to be kind of fun to throw that out there as well. But it's really about getting to this next level with Kaz and seeing his stuff. I've got like 20 pieces. I don't know about you guys, but it's fun. It's changed it. It's cleaner. It's faster. It's and I'm using these tools for about 30-40% of what they're worth. And not what they're worth, but how to use them. He's talking about all these dragging and blending techniques, and I'm using I'm a pusher. That's what I do.
Problem.
I don't understand the dragging and the blending from behind. I don't blend with the hammer, but I'm really open to learning more and more about this. So I'm pretty excited about it.
So what's the dates on that event?
It's the 25th, 26th, and 27th.
So it'll be 2 days of real pushing.
Yep. 2 days of pushing. He's basically going to be showing us something, and then we all get to get in there and try what he's showing us. So it's kind of a hands-on deal, which is really cool, and it's going to be great, man.
They're also having the IMI.
Vince is flying in. He's
Saturday.
here now, obviously, and he hooked you up today.
Yeah.
And so he'll be coming in, and that'll be done on Saturday. And that part is booked. There's a few more openings for the Stanliner, but as far as Vince, we're booked. We're booked solid. So
good.
I keep forgetting we're live up here as well, and we're not. I'm not giving any kudos to these guys. Hey. So
what do you see in the future of the industry, as in tools, as in business?
I see it growing in a major league way. Everybody seems to think that it's saturated and things like that. And I don't believe that. I feel like we're a well-kept secret, at least in Minnesota. People don't understand what we do, and they're getting their cars painted every day. They don't need it, and it drives me crazy. It really does. I think more brick and mortars. Nothing against the traveling guys that did it and I've done it, and then gone mobile and everything else. But I really believe that brick and mortar is kind of the future, and I'm really thinking that we can. The more that we're in their face instead of driving around, maybe they're going to go like, oh, wow, like a body shop, right? I almost feel like the more we can see a brick and mortar, the more it's going to become more mainstream.
So you think it would increase the profits?
I
increase the prices of repairs,
and more about the notoriety and the just really educating the public that there's another alternative for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
I
talk to guys every day that are getting their cars painted or had their car painted for something less than they finally found us for. They're like, oh, where were you last year? Well, we were right here. They just don't really know about it. So
you've been in the same location the whole time?
No, we've moved around a few times. I've been here about 8 years in this location. I was about 10 miles away from there for about 13, and then another spot as well. So we've been generally within about 20 miles of there, though.
Okay,
the whole time. So,
that's cool.
Yeah,
it's exciting. What's the future for Dentcraft?
So the future for Dentcraft is just kind of going along and doing what we're doing. And I've met a really good guy in the tool industry. I've been wanting to bring a lot of tools to the market, and I finally found the right fit in a guy named Chad from Endeavor, and we talked for hours. We're built the same way. We talk the same language. I can't even talk to my own wife. She's like,
oh yeah,
she just glosses over like, well, I can't speak dents, but we just think the same, and we came up with a really incredible tool that we're actually going to launch tomorrow at Anson, and we actually can give you a little preview here of those. It's pretty cool. It's kind of the year of the handle is what we've been hearing.
It is.
John came out with a handle. Danny and Vince have got a handle, and those are for the ratcheting ones, and those are awesome. They really are nice. What we're doing is we're doing it for all the tools you already own, guys. Everybody's got tools and they want more leverage. And basically, maybe we'll just grab one real quick. We've got them all set up, but we call it the AHA handle, and basically it can mount up. There's several different applications here, and it's going to be kind of hard to see on screen. But here's a PDR finesse tool, and we have locked it in here, and we're going to have a bunch of videos on these that we've already done, and we'll have those, and we're going to put those on Chad's website as well on Monday.
How did that come about?
So this came about in a really weird way. Chad sent me a tool, and it was the club tool, which is really cool. It's a knockdown tool that he has, and it's an incredible tool. It really is, in its own right. But I needed some more leverage. I was working on a BMW door, which we'll post, and it was a really nasty body line dent, and I couldn't get any leverage on this thing, and there was no access to it. And this thing saved my life. It was a little different. He has you guys have probably seen the club. It's got a different thing. Well, these holes in here are about the same size. So I took them, I put it on here, I stuck it through, and it grabbed, and it was crazy. And I put a couple pieces of tape around there, and I just couldn't believe the leverage that I had. So we actually found this by accident, and then we prototyped it over and over and over again. And we've got different designs here. You can kind of see like we got different handles, different ways. You can use this backing plate if you need it. There's other ones you don't need the backing plate for, and there's just different ways. And you can screw these on, and it adds so much torque to any tool you already own. We always want more leverage and more, really more go-to. We call it the AHA because when you use this thing, it's like an aha moment. It's crazy. Here's another one set up. We just got several different versions. This backing plate comes with it. They're just a great tool, and they work in any conjunction you could possibly want. You want to get in a door and give it this way. You want to give it this way without cutting your handles off and adding a ratchet handle. They just basically make every tool that you have. We've designed it in a way where you can actually adapt it to about 90% of the tools out there. It'll change your life. It's
super comfortable in the hand.
You like it?
It gives you that feel. And one thing that they explained when I looked at it today, when you're working in a hood and you really, you're tight up there with your hand and you're rubbing the hood, and this eliminates that because it brings it down to really move it.
Totally.
So
you're not rubbing anything, but it's more about torque. Yeah, two hands. Yeah, you can actually get two hands on.
Use two hands. Cranking.
Really get the torque, or you can just do one. You can get one up front and actually really do it. But you can get two hands on this thing and obviously really torque it out if you've got something. Works phenomenal on aluminum. I had one. I've got it actually set up here. We've got so many of these set up, guys. We brought a bunch, of course, to the show. This is a little bit wider whale tail than that I own, but I had the 2-inch on a Mercedes hood that we'll be showing you and posting. But the drive of this thing is just crazy, right? Usually you're running out of room. You're turning and you're only getting it so far, and you're only getting so much turn because you're really running out of strength with your hands. And you got to really try these. It's going to be hard to really explain it, but I think you're gathering it, guys. But it's just really a huge torque. There's so much massive torque in here to twist this tool. I'm not going as far as I would normally, but you're just getting, and let me see if I can get that going the right way. So you can just kind of see how you can just really drive that thing. And I'm getting a little older, so anything that's going to make it easier for me and have a lot of torque, a lot of control, just makes sense.
I think with aluminum, that's going to be a key.
It is. It absolutely is.
Some of those Ford aluminum hoods, and you really need to crank those things during that swoop of the hood or whatever, and you just barely get enough torque in there. I think that's going to be a huge.
It's super comfortable, guys.
It is comfortable.
It's for a bigger hand, a little hand, it will fit anybody's hand, and it just gives you the drive. It's
also like that you can take it off and use it on multiple tools. It's super easy to come apart.
It just comes apart in seconds. You can switch it from tool to tool to tool, and a couple of pins just go drive right through the handle, and it's a really well made tool. We wanted to make it right before we brought it out. Chad's actually behind the camera here, but he's the brainchild, really.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don stumbled on this idea, but it really does change the way you can use some of these tools that you've already got. So we hope that some of you guys can find it as valuable as we have. Been playing with it for a while now.
What's your guys' thought on this? Come on around. Thought on this tool here?
Well, I'm going to tell you I love it already. And the reason, I'll get up on this side, get back over there. Because I kind of already did this with a handle on my motorcycle set. It's off menu at Ultra, but I went down there and I took their biggest handle they had, and I go, can you weld two of these together and make one big handle? And they're like, why do you want that? And I go, because I need the extra leverage. But here's one of the ways I end up using it. When I'm on a motorcycle tank, I hold the tool like this underneath my arm, and I'm pressing with my body, not my shoulders.
That makes sense.
And so I'm leaning up, and you can twist your body. I could almost see another attachment that would go underneath your armpit or something.
You can actually slide that even forward and backwards.
Oh yeah, even better. Yeah, just get it out there as far as you can.
Yeah.
But then I started using that double handle on car fenders. I'm using two hands instead of using a hand forward and one back. I've got control with two hands back there, and you're not sliding all around. You're not creating a snail trail or anything like that. So it's a big advantage, man. So
a lot of drive.
But this is fantastic because you can retrofit any tool. You don't have to cut off the handle. It's not a big expense. How much are these selling for, by the way? We have a price point yet.
We're going to launch it tomorrow.
So that'll be announced tomorrow.
There may be a little bit of a deal for the guys here at the show because we've got some here, and we'll see how many of them go. And then first of next week they'll go live on the site.
Okay.
And then we'll have a final for everybody.
But I don't care what it costs. I'm gonna get it because I can use it on every tool.
The versatility.
Every tool. So you're not putting out a huge expense like for every single tool.
And one of the guys in here said Dent Reaper, and Dent Reaper would work fine.
I use it on the Dent Reaper
because that handle
all the time.
Very close to this handle.
Yeah.
So the Dent Reaper will work well. We had a Blem in here. We've got what else we have?
So many.
What handle is this? This is Finesse.
Finesse.
That's
yeah.
the PDR Finesse. Yeah.
Finesse works great. Ultra works great.
Ultra handle hooked up from that handle. Here's a tequila tool handle hooked up on there as well.
It's I don't know. It's a usable tool.
Too, guys. It's completely different handle from the club. You probably noticed that it's more straight all the way through.
Less tapered.
Yep, there's no taper there, so it makes it even more comfortable for the big drives. You're not swinging it; you're actually using it as leverage.
I think I like the adjustability.
Adjustability. Look at all those holes that you've got. The adjustability. It's just absolutely crazy. How many different ways you can wrap.
And how long have you thought of this idea? How long has it taken?
6. It's pretty funny because when you sent me the first video, when it was a Saturday, if you remember, you sent me a video when you were working on that door. And when I look back, it's been almost a year that we've been talking about it. Yeah, wow. Don, the first video that Don sent me with the club taped to the handle of the PDR Finesse tool where he was making the repair is almost a year, and it just kind of evolved. And not all of the components are always necessary, wanted it to where if there's a tool in your arsenal, there's at least a good shot that this handle is going to work with it. And with the different back straps and the different hardware that it'll come with, typically it will bolt up to anything that you may have in the arsenal at this point. So
Now, where's it going to be available?
it'll be on at DeborDentTools.com, and it'll be available at Anson. So
Okay.
So tomorrow's the release.
all of the
Big
video
release.
stuff
Yeah.
that Don's got some really good video of him, some really good stuff and repairs that he's made using it. That stuff will certainly be all available on the website. We'll put a page together where you can see it, and hopefully as soon as possible, Anson will have them available as well. So
The original idea, you had his club just taped to a tool.
Well, actually, no. So well, yes and no. I taped the one side, but you know how
There's holes on
it
it.
goes through, right? So it happened to be. Which one we got here? It happened to be this tool right here, and it was an amazing
just
tool.
a second, then Slayer, I'll give you a shot here.
Yeah, there you go. Everybody's answering everybody else. It's pretty crazy.
That's
So
on the
so this tool right here, the
That's
finesse
right.
tool, guys, has the holes in it. It just happened to be that club, the knockdown,
Mhm.
fit right through the hole on
Oh,
this. So
okay.
it held it tight to it. It was weird. It was like pinned it to it. I
Yeah.
was like, wait a minute, what do we got here? And then I just put a little tape on around the other side, and it held it there.
Okay.
And it was like, I had so much torque, I was laughing. I called Chad because he had sent it to me to try. I'm like, dude, you know I'm not a knockdown guy, but this, you got something else here, you know. So we
That's
both
cool.
giggled about it, and that's kind of how we came up with it.
You know,
Yeah, it works good. How about that hammer?
This
Got that
hammer's
hammer.
cool. We got to show this hammer.
so we're breaking the rules. We're bringing Chad's new hammer on.
Oh, we're not supposed to show that?
It's too late
Show
now. It's already out.
Do it. Go for it. This is a damn cool hammer.
It's called the
We're
Crown
breaking the
Jewel.
rules, but we're doing it anyway.
No,
The Crown Jewel.
Got the Crown Jewel.
You brought it in here.
So I've been using this hammer for, I don't know, a month and a half. And it's amazing. I didn't believe him. And I said this on your show. I
He
said,
never believes me. So
I said to Daniel, I said, it's just another hammer. That thing on crowns is like nothing else.
So first of all, this is super, super dense rubber. And it's literally got just a small flat spot on top, round radius. So you're going to get a nice forgiving hit. You're not going to have to come back and clean up any work. And then the same exact design, just smaller for pinpoint. Solid shaft, which feels way different than a hollow shaft. And
Different vibration.
Yeah.
nice taper here to the ball rather than a drastic change, which feels really good in your hand, which I really like, because a lot of times I'll put a foam pad on these because it doesn't have a transition. This I can say I won't have to do that. And just feels really good weighted, but love this dense rubber.
It doesn't divot. The other thing I do a lot of times, I don't even grab down here at the ball. I'll kind of choke up a little bit and really just crank on this thing. There's a video that I have just beating on a roof full of crowns. Both sides kind of hit differently. I use the larger side more than the smaller side, but you really don't divot. It does not divot. I was always using a hammer with a M18 Dentcraft knockdown on it, and it would divot periodically, but this thing works really, really well. So,
And then he's got a longer version.
it's three sizes, correct?
What size is this?
that's
18?
it measures out about just over 17 inches. So
17 inches.
I'm playing
That's
around
great.
with 13, 15, and 17, and then I build them out as far as on a 24-inch shaft, and I've been surprised how much I've used it. The head with the through holes in it, that was to reduce some weight. So even at 24 inches on the shaft length, it's still light enough to control and use on damage at a really outstretched arm. And when you get your eyes that far away from those slight crowns, you just see a lot more damage, especially as you're getting the repair closer to finished.
You're having three sizes, correct?
Right now, we'll probably go 13, 15, and 17 inches.
Okay, so
and then
13 of 15
It
and
may
17.
grow into some more options, longer options as we get down the road. find out what people really want. So
Dave Johnson on here, he's had it for a couple months too. He says it kills the buttery crowns. So it's a really good hammer.
I've had it for a while now, guys. This thing is amazing. I've got a couple videos. We're gonna have to post those. You can't believe the shock waves that this thing knocks down, and these guys are absolutely right. This thing, it just doesn't leave the divots. If you're going after it's very soft. It brings down crowns differently than anything you've probably tried, and it does it very cleanly. I just think the world of this thing, and it's just a great tool, and it just has a nice. It's quiet too, but the main thing is the way it really hits a crown. I think you'll all love it, and it'll probably be part of all your arsenals in the near future.
And it's a funny story because Chad gave me this at the Hail Expo, and I didn't believe in it. And then I started using it. I did this really bad roof, and I called him and I said, "Hey, just letting you know, you changed my life." And he started laughing. I do a ton of roofs, so this thing, it was a really busted roof, crowns everywhere, and I was like, "Well, let's give this thing a whirl because I don't even know if I can fix this roof." 45 minutes, we fixed the roof. I pushed 18 times. Everything else was beat with this hammer. It's going to be. When's it going to be available, Chad?
They exist now. I've got a small number of them. Again, we'll have them at Anson tomorrow. So we'll see what's left there, and then I've got many more that are ready to go together. A lot of that's going to hinge on the feedback that I get for what links people want. I didn't want to build too many out any links until I hear what people really want. Hammers are really specific, and people like different things in them. So I've found that I'm leaning more towards the longer ones with this hammer because I want to be as far away from the damage as I can get most of the time specifically for what this hammer I'm using it for most of the time. So I'm interested to get the feedback from what people want, and then that's just a matter of sizing the shafts to length. Probably even be options for some custom length shafts possibly or something. The longer one, I built it 24 inches thinking I was not going to be able to use it because it would be too long, and I have continuously grabbed it off my cart. So now I want some other guys to try it and see if they find it as useful as I have, but it's really changed the way I'm approaching damage because I can get back and see it and still control the hit. My whole attempt then when I decided to try it with the softer rubber, the shape of the face, and a lighter hammer was to be able to swing harder at the panel and then put more energy into the panel itself, but not have to worry about the divots and the cleanup work at the end.
Of course.
And I didn't know if it would work or not, but
it works.
It did. So
it's awesome.
Definitely.
That's
great. Well, we better get over to this party.
Yeah, it looks like we're
a little party for us guys, and we're going to get over to that.
You guys got any quick questions for Don? If you do, throw them out real quick, and then we're going to get off of here and go try to enjoy it.
Thanks so much for joining us, guys.
Definitely. Thank you guys for coming on.
Appreciate it. This is kind of a little bit of a cluster in and out. We try to do like 3 different ways a Sunday.
Hey,
instead of practicing on
that's
one.
What happens.
So what the hell,
But
we're just dent guys. We're not movie stars.
Thanks for coming on, Don. You see this guy on Facebook Live all the time. He's a professional. Don't even listen to him. Every day. If you're going to go to that Stanliner event, register as soon as you can.
Get in.
It's next week, so get out there. He goes. They're asking, will it be on the website soon? The hammer.
Very soon, yes. Like I said, I kind of held out because of Anson's open house this weekend, and it was a great opportunity for us to get people's hands. But as soon as I get home next week,
drive down here tomorrow,
or come in tomorrow to Texas, and
right.
But they will be on the website probably first part of next week.
So next week. All right, guys. Well, thanks,
guys.
Don. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us on.
And remember, keep it real. See you guys.